video comes to you in 5 parts, although all 5 parts pertain to the same thing, so really it's just one big part. What I want to talk about is my reaction to the Half-Blood Prince trailer, which came out this week. Woo! Yes, I'm very excited. So, and I wanted to say some stuff about it. Part 1. Okay, the first thing I loved about the trailer was the music. The very beginning of the music, the kind of, trying to think of a word, it's almost kind of ethereal, and actually at the very beginning it reminded me of kind of Danny Elfman. I think it's actually Nicholas Hooper who did the soundtrack to Order of the Phoenix, which, by the way, I love. When you got to the bit with Tom Riddle and the music just changed, I loved it. It was so creepy and really gave a sense of kind of foreboding, because you knew that this little boy, you knew what he would become, and it's kind of, the music had a sense of kind of a kind of dark inevitability. Part number 2, well, I remembered but I had forgotten, but I did know this. That made no sense. I knew this, but then I forgot, but then I remembered that I knew. That's what I mean. That the little boy is Hero Fiennes' Tiffin, so he is actually the nephew of Ralph Fiennes, which is quite good, because any kind of similarities in his face or his expressions, they're going to be really closely matched between Ralph Fiennes and his nephew. Part number 3. Obviously, the flashback was kind of, I really loved the kind of cinematography of that, the flashback in the trailer. It was kind of, it wasn't black and white, it was just really washed out, and I liked that. I thought it was more sophisticated than the flashback in, say, Chamber of Secrets. And then the only kind of colour in the flashback was the fire. Interesting visually to see that kind of contrast, the fire in that kind of, you know, dank, stripped place. Part number 4, the bit where the woman says, in all the time he's been here, he's never once had a visitor. I like that they used that, because it gave that immediate sense of kind of vulnerability. You know, like, he was kind of vulnerable to becoming an evil person, which I'm glad that they like put that line in the trailer, because the interesting thing for me was, in Half-Blood Prince, that, you know, he had quite a horrible childhood, and I think that, you know, makes him more kind of a three-dimensional character than just kind of the bad guy, the evil guy. Part number 5. Okay, so the trailer is for Half-Blood Prince. The trailer does not mention Half-Blood Prince, the Half-Blood Prince, or, you know, anything about it. So, I think this trailer is for the fans. For me, I know that I really like this book. I really enjoyed the flashbacks and learning more about Tom Riddle and his life, because it's so important, you know, the choices he made in his life, the things he did, his motivations. I just find it so fascinating to you kind of get to see his thinking, and where he's come from, and that I think for a non-book fan, just a moviegoer, I think it's obviously misleading, because I asked my parents, who do you think the Half-Blood Prince is, and they said Voldemort. So I think, but it's only a teaser, and I think the theatrical trailer will have more about the book in it, the property of the Half-Blood Prince potions book. The kind of theme of the book is about identity, discovering who you are, who other people are, stuff like that. Everyone really is kind of struggling, and they see and then in the flashbacks, Harry sees Tom's kind of shaping his identity. And I think, Harry and the Half-Blood Prince book, that's really about who he is. How is he going to use this book, and the choices that he makes when he uses this book, and the mistakes he makes. It's so important to who he is. And although you don't see that in the trailer, you do see, you get the kind of theme of the book or the film about kind of discovering who you are. That concludes my parts, which, as I said, are all just one big thing. I'm just going to add a part 6. I do have a few new subscribers, and I would like to thank you for subscribing. Next slide, please.